dust, He has ransomed me. His grace runs deep. While I was a slave to sin.
Good morning. I would like to share a short message to all of you guys. And I pray God that this short message leaves an eternal mark in your life and draws you even near to God. In Genesis, we see God calling a man called Abraham. He calls him out of his father's house and asks him to leave. Abraham obeys and goes. And he gives him tremendous promises, one of them being that he will be the father of many nations, a blessing to generations. Abraham lives with that for a long time until finally God fulfills that promise with Isaac coming in the house. But sometimes after, about 15 to 20 years after, God comes back and decides to test Abraham's faith. I want to say here something that one day God will decide to test your faith. He will decide to let something happen to test your faith. When He does that, it's not for Him to increase His knowledge, not for Him to know anything that He didn't know before. Usually it's for you to know who you are. It's for the spiritual realm to know who you are. It's for everyone around to know also that you really love God. He will decide to test your faith. He will let something happen. He will decide to let your faith pass through fire to make it even purer than it is. And then He says, "Gives me Isaac, your son, the one you love." And Abraham goes. He sets off with his servant, probably not telling his wife. At some point, he asks the servants to stay and say that the young one and myself are going to go up on the mountain and praise or worship. Along the way, Isaac asks, "I see the fire, I see the woods, but where is the sacrifice? Where is the lamb for the sacrifice?" And Abraham says this famous phrase that we all know: "On the mountain, God will provide." And there they go, and they get there, and the moment arrived that Abraham has to sacrifice. He puts his son on the altar, and he's ready to sacrifice. And God says, "Stop! I know that now you fear me, and you did not withhold your son from me." And He provides with a ram. What this passage is telling us is what true consecration means. True consecration is being ready to give everything. Is being ready to give everything that we have, everything that we own. Even the things that God has given us, being ready to put it back on the altar and say, "This belongs to you." True consecration is giving ourselves wholly, even before God asks anything from us. Before He asks you to do any sacrifice, this is already been done. You already have given everything before He even asks you to give everything. So consecration is being able to give up everything for Him in a heartbeat if He asks. Many of us, we say we are consecrated, we are sold out to Him. But how far are we ready to go? If there is a limitation or there is a limit to what you can do for God, then you are not there yet. Because consecration is giving all. He's giving everything. He's giving it before we even are asked to give that. That's what Galatians says in chapter 2, verse 20. The Bible says, "I've been crucified with Christ, and if I live, it's not I, but Christ who lives with me, in me." If I live, it's not I, it's Christ. True consecration is, I don't live anymore. It's Christ who is living. He does what He wants with my life. He chooses what He pleases, and I go wherever He wants me to go. If you are not there yet, then you should go on your knees. And we should all go on our knees and pray and ask Him to give us a heart, a sold out heart. To grant us the grace to be able to give everything. When Paul is talking to Timothy, he says, I'm already serving as a sacrifice. Being consecrated is being a sacrifice before you are asked to sacrifice anything. And today I want you to remember, God deserves everything. Don't wait for a time He will ask you anything. He deserves everything. Give everything. Live like you don't belong to yourself. God bless you.